Good morning, everybody. It's about 7:30, and I'm going to show you my typical morning. I tend to get to work early to have some time for sketching, and this is my beat up little bag that I put my sketchbook in, as well as my book of inspiration. So who better than Michelangelo himself? So I have that book. And then this is a great little leather sack that I got from Home Goods. You can see the name there. I highly recommend it. It feels good to the touch, and it closes very quickly and easily, and it stretches to fit a lot of stuff. So I thought I'd just show you my tools and what I do, so that maybe it might inspire you to do the same thing before you start your day. So this is a tiny little sketchbook that I bought on a trip to India, but I've seen these actually at certain stores. So Pier 1, Home Goods, TJ Maxx have cute little sketchbooks like this. And I recommend getting one that you really like to hold, because if you have an affection for it, you're going to want to touch it more often, and you're going to want to do work. And so now I'm going to give you like a quick little tour of the sketchbook. Some of these quick drawings that I did in the beginning I've shown before on my YouTube channel, so I'm gonna skip ahead to the newer ones. I'm not sure if I showed these before. I might have, so I'm gonna move a little quickly through these. And these are just done with simple pen and just a regular click pen, actually, nothing fancy. And then I did a sepia wash over it, which is a fancy word for just a little bit of brown watercolor. So these are quick sketches that I did based out of a sketchbook, a book on figure drawing that I thought was really cool. It's just a quick drawing of Wonder Woman there, in case you're wondering. So here's some of the newer ones, and I'll try to give you a better look at them. It's kind of tricky to hold the camera. Bear with me for a second. So I've been getting into portraiture lately, so I just pull up random pictures of people, either online or from art books, and do line drawings of them. This is actually a Michelangelo drawing, and if I scan over here, you can see that it came from the back of this book. So that's that guy right there. Of course, pretty intimidating to try to draw anything like the master himself. So let's see if I can stop this camera from shaking a bit. It's probably very distracting. So here's another shot of, obviously this is Michelangelo's David, and obviously another shot of David, full scale. And this is a tiny book, as you can see the size of my hand next to this book. This is a portrait of Werner Herzog, who is an amazing film director that I love. And I just thought he had an interesting face, so I just did a quick sketch of him. This is more from Michelangelo's book, some sculptures from his book. I like to do drawings from sculptures because it's a little bit more like drawing from life. You're not copying somebody else's line drawing like these are. You're really just creating your own line drawing. This guy, I don't like his face, but I thought the body came out okay. This one was just a copy of a master figure drawing, and I think it was from Michelangelo's book, and this was from a sculpture. And I really like this one. I like the way his body's turning. Again, Michelangelo. And this is part of a, I think it was part of a painting from the Michelangelo book. And this one is obviously Adam and Eve. Well, you can tell Michelangelo was way more interested in Adam than he was in Eve. Anyway, and this is another close-up, kind of a portraiture. I like the angle of her face. I don't feel like she came out that pretty, but it's somewhat accurate. And this was a copy of a sketch of Adam, or the creation of man. And And this one I just did for my head, and you can kind of tell I wasn't using a reference. It's not the best drawing, but I do like to, sorry, I'm going to try to get close up here. I do like to spend some time on some cross-hatching on these drawings. It's just a great way to, you know, practice your line work without, you know, a lot of commitment. You're really just creating a texture in the background, but without using any kind of ruler or anything, and it really helps your hand get better at creating lines. And then this is another one based on a Michelangelo figure drawing. And this was one based on a sculpture. I actually really like this. Any drawing where the figure is twisted, I think, is way more interesting. And this is a 2-pager. I'm going to try to hold this up. The lighting in the car is not that good. I sit here in my car in the morning and try to start a sketch one day and then finish the sketch the following morning. So these are usually 2 sittings, so maybe for a half hour each, so about an hour in total for each one of these. Just a random whale. I forget where that, I think I did that one on Nantucket, looking at an ad and a book. I like these 2-pagers. I might try to do more of these because this book's really small and doesn't give me an opportunity to, you know, really stretch a bit with the drawing. So one other thing I want to mention too is that in my bag of tricks here, and you don't have to get one this cute, but to have a little measuring device, just a simple ruler will do. But I bought this one on online and I really like it, and it takes quick measurements so that you can make sure you're getting the points, you know, the main points, like elbow to elbow, head to hand. And so what I do is I try to draw it the exact size of the drawing in the book, and I just find that really helps to get the basic measurements down without projecting the image and literally tracing it and copying it. You're still using your own, you know, your own brain to do a lot of measuring, but you get the basics. The basic measurements down will help a lot in getting it correct. So I forget where the last image is. Oh, it was that one. So now I want to show you some of the just simple tools I'm using. So I always carry along a black pen that I happen to like, and it's called a Sonic Gel. And the reason why I like it is when you're done drawing with it, it almost looks like a dark pencil. It has a little bit of a gray quality to it. I carry one of these simple retractable pencils because if you really need a tiny razor sharp point, these retract to a really tiny lead, and I use it very limited though because it's not the best lead. And then my favorite by far are the Staedtler Mars pencils, and I usually stick with sort of a middle of the road. This 3H is very hard, this 2B is very soft, and this F is somewhere kind of in the middle. But I also like an HB. That's my favorite, and there's probably one down inside this bag. And then the other thing I use is just a simple clamp. So when I'm drawing, and it's going to be tough for me to show this with one hand, but when I'm drawing, I will clip the clip on the page so that I don't have to, you know, waste a hand holding the book open. And that way, if I have to take a quick measurement with my tool, I have that hand to do it. So again, just the basic measurements, top to the bottom of the head, from pupil to pupil, from eye to mouth, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm trying to remember where I got this. I think Garrison is the name of the tool company that I got it from. I just wanted something that I would really like to use. And I think that's it in my bag of tricks there. In the front, I keep some extra clamps, and of course I have a kneaded eraser that's probably buried down in here. And I'm sure you've all used these before, and they just kind of clean by squishing them and pulling them like putty, and they sort of self-cleaning. So that's basically my setup. I draw right here in my car on this surface or right on my lap, and I'm hoping to do some live videos each morning. So thanks for tuning in and taking a peek at the tour of my sketchbook. And I'll see you again.